Hi everyone, my name is Stefani Milan. I'm an author and I'm also the owner of this YouTube channel and Rosanna Gemstone Creations. And I'm here today to talk to you about my new book, which is called This Side of the Dream, a Memoir. So a couple of years ago, I had a tragic event happen to me. I lost my mother to pancreatic cancer. And sometime after, I read a book called Start With Why by Simon Sinek, which was a phenomenal book. And it really changed my life in terms of how I was going to move forward with anything that I did. So when I originally started writing my book, which I'll show you, it's about this experience that I had with losing my mom and the first 2 years after that, the experiences that I went through and the different trials and tribulations that I faced along the way. So my original why when I started writing this, when my mom got sick, was that she would get better. That's what I thought. So I kept a live journal of everything that was going on, thinking, one day we're going to read this together and kind of say, wasn't that crazy, but here's how we can help people to get through this experience. I didn't know that she had pancreatic cancer at the time. There was a series of events that I write about in detail in the first part of my book. But then after I lost her and I was stuck in this in-between world of not really knowing where to go and trying to cope with my grief, I realized that my why had changed. And my why was now to help people through this stage of grief and to find purpose in their life and to find happiness after such a great, devastating loss. So that's really what my why became, was to help people. And the second part of this book details that in-between world where I just didn't know where to go next. And I felt like I was an alien that, if you've ever seen those movies where someone's plucked out of one time zone and they're put into a different time zone, they have no idea how to cope with that. So that's really what the second part is about. The third part was really interesting for me because I started to visit mediums to try to connect to my mom. I had these incredibly vivid dreams of her visiting me. I traveled to Sedona to connect to her because it was a place that she really always loved, and she was very much into crystals like I am. And then I also was experiencing life. And the way that I equate this type of grief when you lose someone that you're so close to, because in my case, my mom was my best friend, is it's like being in the river of life and you're flowing along, and then all of a sudden you're shot out of this river, you're sitting on a rock basically, and everyone else is still flowing with the river and life is still flowing, but you're on this rock and you're looking around you going, how is everybody still moving? Why aren't they grieving with me? Why aren't they with me in this space? And you are faced with a choice at that point. You either need to jump back into the river or you stay in that space and you're afraid and you don't move on. And I've dealt with a lot of different things. I had post-trauma from this experience. I had a fear of food that I went through that was it was really challenging for me. But those moments made me realize that I had to make this choice and that I either had to choose to jump into the river and flow with life or not. So parts 2 and 3 are really me navigating through this new world and deciding whether or not I'm going to continue with life and to actually enjoy it for what it's meant to be. Part 4 is really more inspirational and more introspective. I still have vivid dreams. I still travel. I traveled to Italy, actually, with details of my journey there. And there are a lot of really wonderful things that happen along the way. So I really wanted to just lay out the book because I think that what I'm going to be doing on this channel, which would be really cool, is offering free chapters. I'm going to offer them as almost like an audio book version. And I'm also working with 3 phenomenal women right now to put together these workshops where we talk about the afterlife and signs from the afterlife and dreams and all different kinds of topics that help us feel more connected and feel more together in a time when we couldn't feel more separate, especially with everything that's going on. So I will make sure that all the links to those workshops, when they become available, will be in the links below, and I'll constantly change them as new things become available. I'll also keep the links to my book. If this interests you, you can get it on Amazon.com as a paperback or an ebook, and you can get it on BarnesandNoble.com as a hard copy or a paperback. And so just keep your eye out. Please like this video and subscribe, because there will be audiobook versions of me reading chapters. I think we're going to do a good portion of chapter 1 and then offer a couple chapters from each of the other parts so that you guys can hear a little bit of what I've done. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this video.